People in a post-apocalyptic society are valued by the number engraved on their bodies. The moment they reach 0, they will fall into a pit of darkness. Hina witnesses her mother being dragged into the abyss, but only after she receives a glass orb containing 10,000. Inside, her mother tells her to find the legendary ace with the white star. After searching for 5 years, Hina meets Licht, a masked perverted idiot, and Nana the boss, who explains that everyone must follow orders from anyone with a higher number. According to Hina, her number 441 represents the 4,400 kilometers she has walked. A sergeant major with a star on his face claims to be the ace. When she meets him, he attempts to molest her until she reveals the 10,000 orb, which he mistakenly interprets as a ballad, and attempts to steal. Hina orders him to stop as she has a higher number. As the legend of the ace is 300 years old, he reveals he is not the ace. As the ace has long since passed away after severely defeating her, he takes 440 from her, leaving her with only 1 as a number. Licht arrives unexpectedly and bets his own number -999. The sergeant realizes that such a number is impossible unless Licht is a ballot holder with a numbered ballot to artificially raise his number. The sword of Licht clearly shows that he is the mythical legendary ace. The blade bears a white star and the number 5700. The number of foes Licht has defeated. The Waste War was a conflict that raged several centuries ago. The Aces were a group of warriors who showed extraordinary strength, but disappeared when the war ended. Licht's super speed enables him to easily defeat the soldiers, demonstrating that his footsteps are powerful enough to shatter the ground. Nana explains that while 5700 represents the number of his defeated foes, -999 represents the number of women who have rejected him. Licht defeats the sergeant with ease, reducing his number to 1 and giving Hina hers back plus some. He steals Hina's 10,000 ballots and gives her a stuffed doll in return. It is a devastating loss for her to lose the memento of her mother. Nana reveals later that Licht hid the ballot in the doll and pretended to steal it in front of witnesses. Since ballots are illegal, so the soldiers will only search for him and leave Hina alone. She tries tearfully to prevent Licht from leaving, but when he ignores her, she yells that she hates him, escalating their tension. The score went from -999 to -1000. Hina is ignored and the army searches for Licht, believing that he possesses the ballot. Master Sergeant Line and her subordinate Sergeant Pele are stationed in a tranquil village, where Line spends her time volunteering and increasing her count based on the number of needy people she assists. After receiving a description of Licht, Line apprehends a nearby masked man who coincidentally is Licht. Nevertheless, he maintains his anonymity by revealing his -1000 and weeping over the women he has rejected. Pele's awful advice makes Line try to help Licht feel better by setting them up on a pity date of Licht's groping behavior. However, causes Line's count to rise since the groping helps him feel better. Then takes the mask off. Licht reveals he is the man on the poster. Then she starts kicking Licht, but he easily dodges her moves and flees. Later, Hina is talking to Nana, telling her she wants to go looking for Licht. All of a sudden, a man appears known as Jail Murdoch. He is a lieutenant of the Royal Guards in Alcia. Nana was told to tell him where Licht is or else they would be arrested. He was told that he had gone in east, and so the troops began their search for the legendary ace. Immediately after Licht is found, the lieutenant tries to apprehend him, but he breaks free and starts fighting all the guards. By using his abilities, Licht easily wins the fight. As soon as the lieutenant tells his men to stand down, the then proceeds to ask Line for an explanation of what a ballot holder is and why his arrest is necessary. She then explains that a ballot is a ball with an illegal count, and that the person holding it has special powers. As an example, the lieutenant is a ballot holder who can manipulate iron. He can create items made of iron to use during combat. He can create iron spikes and structures to use for his advantage, as the ballot strength depends on the current count on your body. Licht tells Jail that he only has 900, and his count is at 5700. It probably wouldn't be too wise to fight him, but Jail doesn't care and starts attacking him with his iron powers. Licht uses his super speed to confuse Jail and attempts to escape, but Jail teleports into the sky and sends a giant iron tower at him, having him knocked down in lake. He removes the fake count on his hand, revealing that his true number. A massive battle occurs between Licht and Lieutenant, and both of them are extremely powerful. Jail takes this opportunity to show his true powers, but after their massive duel, Licht eventually escapes. A little later, Licht is walking along the meadows in a bird mask and is greeted by a Hina, who claims she has been searching everywhere for him. While they were chatting on the field, a bird-shaped object flies past, and they notice it was a girl flying the bird. Licht uses his flying ability to rescue her just in time. as she was about to crash into the cliffs. This is a dream come true for the girl, who has wanted to fly her whole life. Upon asking Licht about his ability to fly, he replied that he was unable to do so. Licht simply jumps higher than most people. She tells Licht and Hina that her name is Pelmo, and that her entire life is dedicated to finding a way to fly. Licht informs Pelmo of the Alcian law that states you may not try flying in Alcia. But Pelmo tells Licht that she doesn't care about the laws and wants to pursue her dream. Nonetheless, her dream is more important to her than anything else. When she completes the final design of her next flying machine, she asks Licht and Hina if they'd like to take it for a test flight. But just at that moment, guards approached them. Licht broke the machine quickly to prevent them from spotting it and saving Pelmo. Pelmo tells Licht and Hina that she can't build another flying machine after the guards have left, and so her count drops from 1 to 0 and she is taken into the abyss. While getting dragged into the abyss, she explained that her count is based on her dream coming true. But since she's failed to fly once again and reached 0, both try to save her, but the hands stop them. So Licht cuts the hands, but it only damages himself, and she is still dragged into the abyss. After a while, Licht and Hina are walking around town markets, and there they meet Lion. She approaches Licht and thanks him for saving her when she fell off the mountain. But right after she tries to arrest him, Licht attempts to escape, but soon the lieutenant came and they begin to fight in the streets. Their discussion is soon interrupted by Nana, who tells them that they cannot fight in the town, because if they do, the whole city will be destroyed. Following the battle, the lieutenant was notified that a town was under attack, so he visited the area and found it destroyed. According to a survivor, the town's lake has turned into a swirling pit of darkness. There was a demon rising from the lake that began attacking the city. An unexpected noise suddenly resounds from the hole, and everyone gets ready to fight the demon. But it turns out that they were really fighting a modern military helicopter, something they'd never seen before. They are all trying to understand what this helicopter is and how to stop it, since it's a vehicle from far in the future. Everyone in the town is told to run by Licht, while Jail protects them with his iron barrier. After attacking the helicopter, Licht learned to his surprise that the hands of the abyss started sprouting from the ground to attack. All of them seem to be aiming at Licht, because they now see him as a threat due to the fact that he sliced those hands earlier in an effort to save Pelmo. The hands now realize that the chopper is also a real threat and work hard to destroy it. However, they cannot reach it, and when Jail tries to approach it, but he is blocked. He refuses to help Hina because attacking the hands of the abyss is a rule violation, and if he was found guilty, he would be sent to the abyss immediately. Licht appears to be having a hard time going against the helicopter, so the lieutenant finally gives in and helps him. However, once the chopper has been defeated, a girl named Shinohara appeared from the abyss, and she referred to Licht as her commander. Lieutenant Jail asks Shinohara who she is, but she instantly shoots him, leaving him in bad shape. Hina is shocked and asks who she is, and she tells everyone that she's another one of the legendary aces, and a long time ago Licht was her commander, who ordered her to kill people. Therefore, she still follows his orders to this day. But Licht tries to stop her from doing so. But she tells Licht that she has a power where she can control the bullets, moving them in any direction she wants. They take him by surprise, and Licht falls to the ground. Licht is laying on the ground. Eventually, Licht gets back up and Shinohara implores Licht to return to his true form, but he refuses and says that everyone should leave. Licht kills all the guards in a blink of an eye before he eliminates them all, revealing to everyone that he is the plunderer and saving all his friends. Upon seeing the legendary ace, Shinohara becomes excited and they bet on their stars. In a star stake, Shinohara's count is at 32,000, while Licht's is only 5,700. Making her the stronger opponent. Pele, on the other hand, knows about the legends of aces and their true power. He says that Licht is actually hiding his power. Here we see Licht transform into the legendary ace, a soulless demon who is only interested in eliminating all his enemies. His sword count is now 57,000. As Licht easily defeats Shinohara in the duel. Just before he puts her down with his final strike, the lieutenant is able to save her. Currently, Licht appears to have lost all sanity, believing that everyone around him is his enemy. Using all his might, he strikes out at Lieutenant Jail, but the lieutenant unexpectedly unleashes his full maximum strength through his iron ability and then creates an iron demon monster that he can control. When he have to fight Licht in legendary ace form, Jail manages to knock Licht out unconscious, and when he wakes up, he's now back to his normal self and tells everyone he's sorry for what he done to them. In the aftermath of the fight with Licht, Jail visits Alexandrov, the head of all guards in Alcia and the father of the jail. However, they are not related by blood as he was adopted by Alexander when he was young, The Supreme Commander begins by asking Jael some questions about Licht and the way that he was able to change the count on a sword. Then Jaels inform the Supreme Commander that aces can change their count by themselves. It is their nature to do so. A 300-year-old experiment took place in the Waste War, in which the soldiers were all synchronized with the ballots. Through surgery, according to him, they are a squad of unstoppable beings, led by Licht Bach, who is a threat to everyone including his soldiers. He then confronts Licht about it, trying to arrest him. After hearing what the Supreme Commander just said in response, Nana told Jael not to listen to the commander as Licht isn't the real threat, and how they got this far by believing in Licht. Next, she reveals that she is a legendary ace and sends everyone into the past 300 years to see what really happened. During their teleport, she tells them to try to change what happened so he can save him. Upon entering a world from 300 years ago, everything seems completely different, and they are standing outside a school where they see Shinohara calling him by his real name, which is actually Rahito Sakai. In addition, he no longer has his white hair, and he is younger as well, but none of them are sure whether he was really Licht. Upon entering the high school, Jael is blown away by how much more advanced the technology here is than in Alcia. Despite living 300 years in the past, they all come to realize that the past world was actually a very modern one with electricity and running water. They then enter the school halls, and Hina gets pushed by a student named Dowan Taketora. Line tries to help her, but she also gets hit by Dowan. When Jael confronts him, he realizes he no longer has the ballot, and all his powers are gone. Shinohara tries to convince Dowan to stop fighting, but he refuses. Dowan is told to leave them alone by another student. He is Sakai Takakis, who is Rahito's brother. Furthermore, they confirm that Rahito Sakai is in fact Licht, since he is still attracted to Hina just like he was in the other world. Suddenly, one of the instructors at the school, Mr. Allen, tells them they are now all soldiers involved in a war. Next, a student named Tsukina explains to the class how their whole nation is in danger because of a major food shortage. Thousands are dying as a result. Immediately following that, the Supreme Director named Box Shimmerman reads a poem to test the students' ability to follow orders. As he reads the poetry, a few of the students started laughing. Despite his warning, students continued to laugh. As a result, the director walked over and shot those still laughing. Other students attempt to leave the hall as they get scared. But then Bach explains that this was a necessary training exercise to see who can follow orders in serious times. After Bach tells Rahito to break his neck or he will eliminate Hina, once again he is only doing this as a test to see how far they can go. However, Rahito tells him that he will not do it, so everyone from the future knows it was Licht, as he would have said the same after the director uses his power intent to kill, but the test doesn't affect him as Licht is still standing. He then informed them that it was all a test, and the director had been using paintballs instead of bullets. After that, the three students got up. In essence, he uses to build a team of the strongest students, who he can use to eliminate all his enemies for him, instead of doing it himself. So this is how the legendary aces were created. They began the ACE project by surgically increasing the violent behaviors of rats. In the next moment, Bach pulls out a ballot filled with alien technology that came from outer space. This can be used to enhance all abilities and change the laws of physics, so no other man will be able to achieve these feats. Therefore, Bach orders Tsukina to give the ballot to the rat, and we see that he has gone completely insane, with incredible strength and is as fast as light. Jael watches the experimentation and gets caught, but luckily a young Nana saves him. Later he learns that the Nana from the future wanted him to prevent Licht surgery being performed. The directors would be prevented from creating the legendary aces. In addition, she tells him she's the first legendary ace, and her ability is time travel, so she's able to talk with her older self from Althea. He leaves the room shortly after talking with Nana, and a director named Alexandrov tells him he knows he's not from their world. In response, Jael says he is the lieutenant from the future from Althea, and he was the one who trained him into the position. Afterwards, we see that the same experiments are being conducted on Licht and the Major Bach himself, as he wanted to become one of the legendary aces. Since there were 7 in total having woken up from the surgery, Licht got his white hair and red eyes just like before, but the Major hasn't recovered well from it. Prior to his death, he gives Licht his special sword, which is an actual ballot, but in the form of a sword. Through this sword, he can boost his powers at any time. Outside, the students are under threat from soldiers. Fortunately, Licht came to the rescue just in time. We learn that he has all kinds of abilities and powers not seen anywhere else. They're then transported back to 300 years in the future, and Hina realizes that they can't change Licht's fate, as he was always destined to be the legendary ace. She starts to cry and tells him to try and hold on to this moment for 300 years until they meet again, and then they fade back into their world. While she's screaming out to Licht and begs him to remember her. They have been using Licht for 300 years as their own lethal weapon, and he has taken out several armies and many enemy troops all over the world. However, Licht still knows what they've done to him, so he tries going against the others. After that, he ends up fighting another legendary ace who happens to be Dowen from high school. Licht is in his eyes a traitor due to his attempt to change his ways and go against them. Therefore, they engage in battle, and both show their best abilities. Nevertheless, Dowen is helped by Shinohara, and Nana tells Dowen that there is no sense in fighting Licht, as he's not the one in the wrong. However, he refused to listen and used his final combo attack to harm Licht, but Licht defeats Dowen and saves Hina and his friends. We then see Hina and Licht back in the future together, and the story ends here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon.